Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now, the Glazers out movement is growing stronger, and we've had some recent reports that could in favour and could predict that who is going to be United's new owner. Now, as we know, the sale has been ongoing since November of late last year, and that was just prior to the World Cup, the Qatar 2022 World Cup, and it was strictly after after the Ronaldo situation, sorry. But with everything that's going on, who is going to be United's new owner? And only time will tell with that, in my opinion. But as well, at the end of the day, the Qataris have they lost the race almost, and that's what the actual. I'm trying to get my words out now, which is trying to find out what the final decision is when it comes to the sale that's going to happen. But as we know, with the Glazers putting the family up from Manchester United up for sale, there have been many reports of who's going to be the United owner. But the favourite candidates are Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, and the Qataris, or Sheikh Jassim is the owner of Qatar. So with them, obviously, it's now early June 2023, and it still seems that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the favourable candidate that's going to be Man United's new owner. Now, obviously, with everything that's going on, we don't know who's going to be the new owner of Manchester United, but we can speculate and we can talk about the latest news. So for me, I feel like that United fans like myself can address the latest news and we can just go through it all. Well, anyway, I've got the script here about what is going on in recent times. So recent reports on Manchester Evening News is that outlets of Glazer family are set to give the nod to Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid, which is reported to give Sir Jim Ratcliffe 51% of the club's ownership, keeping the Glazers in power for reportedly 20% for around 3 years at the club, and then eventually Sir Jim Ratcliffe can buy him out. Now, that's what the article says on Manchester Evening News. And the reason I want to highlight this word is that the Glazers in power with reportedly 20% for 3 years, eventually Sir Jim Ratcliffe can buy them out. So with that, I feel like we need to highlight that article, because it's saying that it's not a guarantee, or it's not. So it's saying Sir Jim Ratcliffe can buy them out, not Sir Jim Ratcliffe will buy them out. So this is the kind of the hole in the vision of the Sir Jim Ratcliffe ownership, in my opinion, because it's not a guarantee that Glazers will ever leave the club. It could be that Sir Jim Ratcliffe just always keeps 51%, and the Glazers always stay in power with their 20% or something. So for me, I personally feel like this is one of the issues with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the ownership with keeping the Glazers in power, because for me, I don't care at this point whether it's the Qataris or whether it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. All I want is 100% ownership, and that's just the way I see it. And you could disagree with me, but I personally would much rather a full sale. I would prefer the Qataris because their vision has been a lot more publicised by them talking about how the infrastructure, the squad, the stadium, all the debt will all be debt will be cleared, and United would actually get a wealthy amount of investment. With Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's been reported that he's taking out loans, he's been borrowing money from other people, and this is supposed to be one of the richest men in all of the UK, who's also a United fan. Now, people who say Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they don't want Sir Jim Ratcliffe because he's got a Chelsea season ticket, then I personally feel like that they're the type of fans that don't really do enough research with that. But anyway, let's see who's in the comments. Daddy and the Don. I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be better all rounds for the club. We don't know what all these oil-rich water sport washing owners' position will be in years to come. United too big of a brand to do anything shady. I agree with this. I mean, obviously, we've got Saudi Arabia and Man City. They're a perfect example. Obviously, Saudi Arabia get bought out, and it's now an ongoing investigation with 100 plus FFP, whatever it's called, financial fair play breaks that City have apparently made. So United don't want to end up in that position. I don't think we need to, but I understand your point with that one, pal. And Simon Davis also saying that I don't know much as you, however, it needs sorting out rapid. United need to cut their ties with the Glazers. And that's the frustrating part. because considering the Glazers have took out dividends out of Manchester United for so many years now, and also that they just don't invest a lot of money into the club. Obviously, yes, last season with Eric Ten Hag's first season, they invested over £200 million, which was a massive surprise. But I think that was also due to the protests. That was also due to the amount of pressure that was building on them, and that was obviously before they started selling the club. But they were under pressure, and I can see, and that's what happens normally. Every time Man United aren't in the Champions League, and we either have a new manager coming in, they get major investments. But this is the summer that I want to see now what the Glazers do, because for me, I personally feel like the damage is already done. The Glazers don't deserve to stay at Manchester United, and I personally feel like that even if for the next if they was to stay for the next 10 years and they invested over £300 million every single window, I feel like that still won't be enough because the damage is already done. There's been too many protests. There's been too many Glazer out movements all over social media. It's time for them to part ways with Manchester United. And I'm going to read the report now of what Sheikh Jassim's bid is going to take. And Sheikh Jassim is wanting 100% takeover of Manchester United, clear the debt, improve the infrastructure, and with heavy investment in the club and the team. Now, for that's what I was talking about before with how their vision has been a lot more public. But with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, going back to him, is that he's the preferred bidder because it's over a period of time, his deal is valued as more money. But the Qataris, they're paying upfront a lot more. And the Qataris are also going to pay in cash. So what's going to happen is that this is why I feel like the Glazers are struggling to make a decision. And the reports are saying that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is leading this race, unfortunately. But whether you want Sir Jim Ratcliffe in or you rather the Qataris like myself, then obviously that's just all down to opinions. But for me, I personally feel like that with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's obviously he's buying 51% of the club first, so he is the main owner. But keeping the Glazers in power, this is where a lot of the fan base is now divided over the sale. Because at the end of the day, it's like the Glazers, yes, the deal was worth more money with Sir Jim Ratcliffe over a 3 to 4 year period, but the Qataris are going to pay probably about 500,000 or million less. I don't know what the differential will be, but they're going to pay a different amount less than Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but going to play it all up front. Now, bankers have valued Manchester United at £3.8 billion, but the Qataris are willing to pay up to $6 billion, which is crazy, which is nearly double the valuation of what the bankers have set Manchester United. Obviously, Manchester United is a massive brand, and kind of like how Daddy and the Don said before, that United are too big of a brand to do anything shady. I personally feel like that the Qataris would run Manchester United kind of like how Newcastle's owners are running them, where they're slowly building a great team, slowly getting them into the higher competitions and making them get better and better with each season that passes. So for me, that's kind of what I would want from the Qataris straight away. And you'd see improvement on the pitch as well, because it's kind of like you see Man City on TikTok, for example, where you've got Erling Haaland with the Louvre and stuff like that. Like with Erling Haaland and Man City, they're growing a fan base because they're due to social media, they're becoming a better team by constantly winning a load of trophies. And the kids of Manchester are going to be raised in seeing that team's the winner. So they're the team that they're going to want to support. But myself, who's a Man United fan, who was growing up in the times when Manchester United was successful, it's literally just history repeating itself. And for me, I personally feel like that with Man City, the reason why they're getting as big as a fan base as they are now is because of social media situation. And United don't do anything like social media or like going out into doing all these like YouTube videos and all that stuff. All we get is the interviews of the manager of when he's done a press conference, and he's also done, and they also do like training footage. That's about it. That's all we get from Manchester United, or clips from in games. It's not a good like social media brand. And even though United are all about making money, you'd think that them little things that won't cost that much would actually earn you more revenue. But that's just my opinion. And that's how Manchester United, for me, are kind of one of the reasons why we're such a poor run club. But anyway, I'm just going to ask the chat quickly that what do you guys think of this with the sale? Do you think it'll happen anytime soon? Do you guys think that it's going to drag on throughout the summer and possibly into next season? It is really unpredictable with the Glazers. But anyway, let's read a few comments. And Simon's saying completely. I'm guessing that's for a previous comment. And saying that that's one of you. That's the one United wants. Get someone to clear the slate. And that's kind of the thing. We want someone to clear the slate. We want someone that can just make us a new club almost. Like it's like wiping the slate clean. It's like getting a new identity. It's like I don't know. Your ex-missus is an absolute psycho having to leave town and change your name and everything. That's literally what's happening here. And you're just starting your new life. And then Sam saying there's struck in the past. And Daddy and Dom turning around and saying United have made massive issues at the boardroom level in recent years, losing Pogba for free, buying him back and losing him again for free. Please don't remind me of that, pal. Players on massive contracts need a business brain at times. We do. And considering that the boardroom is full of bankers and money people, you'd think that they'd actually understand and work with that better, but they don't. And this is where I think you need a kind of mix between like financial specialists and football specialists, because I feel like that the financial like superior people that we have in the club, they're the type of people that are doing too much of the football side of stuff, and they don't understand it, and that's why the club's being run poorly. And that's also obviously down to the Glazers, because they're the ones that are hiring these people. So for me, I personally feel like that the club is run just run poorly. And I just don't understand why the Glazers wouldn't take the Qataris' bid. I mean, it makes no sense, because considering that they want as much money as possible, Sheikh Jassim is paying cash up front. He's going to pay nearly double what the club is valued at. You asked for 5 billion at first, and then you saw how many people were willing to pay that money. So then you increase the value. Just take the money, because you just know that if you appoint Sergeant, or if you sell the club to Sergeant Ratcliffe, there's just going to be so much backlash. And despite some fans like Daddy and Don who want Sergeant Ratcliffe, I personally don't, because like Simon said, that it's wiping the slate clean. It's kind of like reincarnating the club almost. And for me, I just personally feel like with everything that's going on, it just needs to happen. The sale needs to happen ASAP. And as well, United just need to. It's just hard to say, really. But anyway, with everything that's going on, let's talk about Harry Kane going to Real Madrid. Now, with Harry Kane, there's been reports that Real Madrid are given the green light to go on to pursue the target Harry Kane after Karim Benzema has agreed to go to Saudi Arabia. So with that, I personally feel like that's a deal that's kind of going to fall backlash onto Manchester United, because with Manchester United, obviously Harry Kane was apparently Erik ten Hag's star signing, but obviously Real Madrid have been given the green light to sign Harry Kane. And Daniel Levy has also come out and said that he will not sell to any other Premier League club. So Harry Kane will only go to another international team, whether it's Germany with Bayern Munich, whether it's Real Madrid with Spain, etc. So I personally feel like that with this falls back on the Glazers, is that what are they doing? Because Erik ten Hag has made it clear that Harry Kane is his dream striker. He's Premier League proven. He will fit this system massively. And for me, I personally feel like that with Harry Kane, he will be exceptional at Real Madrid, because you've got the likes of Vinicius Jr., you've got the likes of Rodrigo, all these other people. So for me, I personally feel like that with Harry Kane, it would be a good signing for Real Madrid. So, and it would pain me to see Harry Kane, but there's kind of something I want to bring up, that Højlund is the striker that's linked to Manchester United. United are linked to him for about 40 million. Now, I'm going to do a video tomorrow about Højlund and doing a breakdown of him as a player. Whether I'm going to do it as a YouTube short or whether as a normal video, I'm not too sure yet, so stay tuned for that. But with Holdrund, he seems to be the most realistic striker that we're signing at the moment. Obviously, there are talks of Harry Kane, about how much Erik ten Hag admires Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, Dusan Vlahovic, and Gonçalo Ramos, and all these other players. But in reports for United actually signing these players, it seems that Holdrund is the most realistic option. Now, for me, I personally feel like that Holdrund is a good striker, and he's 22 years old, I think, or 21, and he's about 6'3", and he's got a lot of potential. I think he might even be younger. I think he might be 20. So I would much rather a player like Holdrund coming in, but also being an understudy to a much more experienced striker. So for me, I would love to see two strikers coming into Manchester United, but this is where I draw a line. That what if Marcus Rashford becomes the main number 9 for next season, and Holdrund is the understudy to Marcus Rashford, and then the likes of Garnacho it's his left wing spot almost, and then we'll be short on the left wing spot. So for me, it's kind of something that we could address, because Erik ten Hag has explored Marcus Rashford as the number 9 position for a few times this season. So I am looking forward to seeing what Erik ten Hag's plan is for the players that we are linked to. Simon says the infrastructure of Man United is fractured from top to bottom. Erik ten Hag is laid in the foundations, but if the Glazers are still involved in United at whatever capacity, you're effed almost. And then he also says swan song, move on for Harry Kane, that's all. And then Daddy in the Dom saying that the potential problem with Saudis or Qataris is that you will end up with the likes of Neymar or massive contracts, leaving you to foot the bill when they get bored and leave. I agree on that sense, but that's not the way Newcastle are running it. And obviously Newcastle are not in the position that United are, where they are building. But who knows, maybe Newcastle in the next 4-5 years will end up being that type of club. So that's quite an interesting point that you've made there. So I understand that, where if United were to get bought out by the Qataris, then that might be an issue, or that might be something that could be a possibility. So I like that comment. Thank you, pal. And also Danny the Don saying Kane has all the leverage. He could run his contract out and move to United next summer. Think he's exactly what United need. I agree on this. And funny enough, I made a video a few months back on why I don't want Harry Kane for Man United, and it's come to bite me in the ass, because now I'm a Harry Kane fanboy, because from actually seeing what he actually brings to Tottenham, and the fact that he's gone and scored 30 goals in the Premier League in this crap Tottenham side, I personally feel like that Harry Kane will be absolutely perfect. And the way that he's not slowing down. Obviously, Harry Kane was never a blistering pace striker, and he never really relied on his pace. So while that's deteriorating as he's getting older, he's just find himself to get in better positions, and his positional sense and his attacking positioning and his awareness and composure is just getting better and better and better. So with Harry Kane, I feel like he would be perfect for Manchester United. But from the reports of Real Madrid, they'd be given the green light to sign Harry Kane. And normally 9 times out of 10, if Real Madrid come knocking on your door, you don't say no. I mean, United have lost a few players for Real Madrid. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is the main one that comes to my memory. But yeah, Harry Kane, it would be a bit of it would be gutting if they lose out on Harry Kane. But again, I back what Erik ten Hag wants. And if Erik ten Hag turned around and found this Slovakian striker that's 19, who's the next big thing, then and he wants to sign him, then I'd back it. Same with anyone in midfield, defence, or anything. So I believe Erik ten Hag has a plan, but what he needs is investment, and that's what everything's falling down to. But yeah, that's just been a short video about the Qataris. Let's see what Danny and Don's saying. That Haaland turns around and sees Kevin De Bruyne. Kane turns around and sees Oliver Skip. That's a good comment, to be honest. But with that, obviously, hopefully Kane turns around next season and sees Bruno Fernandes or Casemiro. That would be perfect. But you know, that's the best comment. That's the comment of the stream. That. But honestly, everyone, thank you who's tuned in tonight. Obviously, it was just a quick stream talking about the Qataris and the Glazer update. So let me know if you want to see more type of this content with the Glazer Out movement. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you are new. But honestly, everyone, thank you for watching.